Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Qigong. This is the Levy Tai Chi School. This morning is Saturday, so we are brought to you by a generous grant from the Alexandria Museum of Art, downtown, Murray and 2nd Street. If you haven't been there, you need to go. Ordinarily, we would be in the museum, but of course it's the Christmas and New Year's holiday, so they will be closed until January the 4th, I believe, which is a Tuesday. In conjunction with LSUA's campus. And I made the decision yesterday not to teach in front of the museum because the temperature, it's warming up a little bit. It's pretty outside, but it's still really, really cold out there. So I'm not regretting that decision. It's too cold for all that stuff right now. And let's hope for a mild winter so we can get back to being outside and for the museum to open up again so we can get back in the museum. But they have taken over the grant that lets me come to you every Saturday in the museum, usually, and offers the class to you. I'm proud to be here. It is Saturday, December 26th. If you have any British friends or any friends who are Anglophiles, be sure to wish them a happy Boxing Day today. I had to do a little research. I always forget it every year, but Boxing Day, if you're curious, is the British holiday started in Victorian times under, of course, Queen Victoria, when the rich and the wealthy who had live-in staff would box up gifts for the servants and for the poor. And it's a bank holiday now, and they have football, which is not our football. They have their football. And turkey sandwiches apparently are a thing for Boxing Day. So if you know someone who celebrates Boxing Day, or know a Brit, an expat, or if you know someone who's just likes all things British or has watched Downton Abbey, be sure and wish them a happy Boxing Day today. Kind of a cool little thing, I think, that we could probably take on as Americans. That would be a nice little, not for our servants, mind you. Many of us have servants. I had to dismiss our servants before I hired them, but giving to the needy on the day after Christmas, I think it's kind of a cool thing. Anyway, Boxing Day aside, and all those things, I am proud of myself. I have managed to get the Do Not Disturb turned on, the timer turned on, and all the cats locked in the back room. So I'm sure something's going to go horribly wrong today. The house is going to burn down or something. I kid. I will say this, my stomach's been a little funny this morning, so I may have to bail out momentarily for a stomach break. I'm not sure what's going on. Too much rich food probably for Christmas throws me off sometimes. And I'm going to move the camera a tiny bit. That little thing you see in the upper corner is actually the pull chain to my light, my ceiling fan, and that's a little annoying. So let's just fix that very quickly. There, how's that? That won't bother you. Shouldn't bother you. All right, so not a lot of deep, meaningful, spiritual things this morning. We don't have to spend every day, every moment being mindful. It's nice when you can. But one of the most interesting things I ever learned in psychology, and when I was getting my degree back in the day, is that when you commit yourself to a path, for instance, dieting or exercise or any kind of thing that's good for you, quote unquote, it is proven by studies that if you hold yourself, let's use dieting for an example, that's an easy one. If you hold yourself to a relentless, say, 1,500 calorie diet, which is not a lot of food, every day, 7 days a week, all month, if you're just really driving yourself every moment to stay at or under 1,500 calories, and you're really, busting your butt to do this, your chances of success in that pursuit are actually less than if you give yourself an occasional break. And that could be as often as once a week. So if you stay on a strict 1,500 calorie diet for 6 days out of the week, and on day 7, you have that slice of lemon cake that you really, really love, and then go back to it again the next day and continue your very strict diet, your chances of succeeding in general, succeeding in that you are staying with the diet consistently are increased rather than if you were to just say, I'm going to never eat anything more than 1,500 calories forever. So, and I'm not sure why that is. I think it may be a reward system that's being triggered. But regardless, that has stuck with me for a long time, that if you reward yourself for good behavior, you are reinforcing the behavior. So if you feel like you have spent a week being extra mindful and being very careful and watching your thoughts and making sure you're discarding what isn't important, and you've been doing your form and you've been really just top notch, it's okay to give yourself a break, to not delve into the dark water again every single day. Meditation, mindfulness, qigong is not as much, I don't want to say ordeal, but it's not as difficult to do as, for instance, dieting, especially if you're on a very strict diet or a very strict regimen. Qigong itself is not very strict. Mindfulness is not very strict, but it's still effort. It takes effort. Just to be mindful takes effort. Mental effort, but it still takes effort, and you can get tired mentally. I'm sure, aware of that from real life. So don't be afraid to reward yourself. If you've done good, if you're pleased with your performance and your results and your performance over the week, reward yourself. It hasn't always got to be deep and dark and strong and heavy and maxing out. I will say, on the same theme, I'm going to continue with my Sundays off at least through Christmas or through New Year's, and revisit that. That may be my little one reward, is not to teach on Sundays. Not that this is difficult, but it does take time, and I do enjoy being here. But it gets in the way of housework and everything else that I sometimes feel I have to do. That's my little reward on Sundays. Sleep in a little bit. So I'm going to continue that, but we will be here today, of course. We'll be back Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for the regular classes. Next Saturday's class will also be a live broadcast. It won't be in the museum. Again, depending on the weather, we may be in front of the museum or on the levee or something. We will look at the weather very carefully when it gets close. If it's 40 or below, we're not going to bother. That's simply too cold to be outside for anybody. But we will monitor that carefully. Otherwise, we will have a live video next Saturday morning too. So, now that I have filled you with philosophy, even though I wasn't going to fill you with philosophy, that was psychology. Filled you with psychology rather than philosophy. Fair trade. Let's go ahead and play the form, shall we? Lifting the heavens. All gazes backward. Breathe out. Draw a bow. Stars fall to earth. Breathe in. Lion wags tail. Breathe out. Mary, heavens and earth. Breathe in. Quan Ti sits on his throne. Breathe in. And lastly, stamp the earth. One more. Just like that. As easy as that. 30 minutes, give or take. A little movement, a little breathing, a little mindfulness, a little practice, and you've taken a step forward. As easy as that. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it as always. We will return to the museum not this coming Saturday, but the next. Once they reopen after New Year's, we'll resume there. I have had some thoughts, and I'll be talking to Catherine about starting perhaps a very basic Tai Chi class in a month or so instead of Qigong. If anyone's interested or not interested, please let me know in the comments. You guys are a quiet bunch. I would love to have your input on whether you'd want to continue the same thing or you want to do some Tai Chi or something different. Just let me know, please. I'm also proud to announce that I will be taking over operation of the museum gift shop in the new year. At some undetermined point, we're still doing paperwork, but I'm going to be a contracted employee to the museum in two ways. One, for the classes we teach, or I teach for us, and then two, as a contracted employee running the gift shop. So I'll be watching for some interesting things in the coming month or so from the gift shop. I have some ideas, and I've got a tremendous support staff at the museum, so I am really excited to bring you, as the museum patrons, something interesting and worthwhile in the gift shop. So until then, maybe take the spirit of Boxing Day, take this energy you've cultivated this morning with the Bat Wan Gin, and do something good for somebody else with it. Go out and not necessarily give gifts, but maybe, I don't know, do something nice. Make someone smile today if you can. Do something good, do something useful, do something positive. Go and be you. Keep being a light. Until Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I hope you, as always, especially now, please stay safe and be well.